All right, everybody, we are back in the house. You got Rude Mike. Rude Ma has finally made it here, and I have this phenomenal cast here. When you guys find out everybody that I have here, you're gonna like flip out because I know I'm flipping out. Like
I'm flipping out.
Like this is, in case you didn't get that, that is my most favorite person in the world. Las Vegas Live with Neon at the Pepper Mill every Tuesday. You know you go catch that show. If you do not, definitely log on to YouTube and follow, subscribe. We have Keith Kramer, which I am saying that right because I mess your name up every single time you come. Okay, I got it right this time, correct? Okay. Well, you guys, I have something else in store for you that I have been waiting, and it finally popped off. So, I have Mr. Valentino, the world famous tribute artist. That the world famous Michael Jackson tribute artist on the Strip, has a hit show on the Strip here in Las Vegas. And we have Miss Geraldine Hughes, that is the author of the redemption book of Michael Jackson. So, welcome everybody to Reckless. Welcome to Hot 702.
It's amazing to be here with you, Mike.
Oh, thank you. I am so honored to have all of you guys here. Wow, it has been a journey. It has been a journey to get.
But it's worth it.
Yes, it is worth it. It is worth it. So let's hop right into this. Miss Hughes, my first question is, what led up to you writing this book?
I decided to write the book, Redemption, The Truth Behind the Michael Jackson Child Molestation Allegation, because I worked for the attorney in 1993 that framed Michael Jackson of the child molestation allegation. The true story was it was an extortion scheme. And when Michael wouldn't give them the money, he wanted the money to make a movie. Mm-hmm. When Michael refused to give him $20 million so he could make a movie, my attorney devised the scheme, the child molestation allegation, to force him to give them the money.
Wow. And you were in-house at that, so you found out all this information firsthand. It wasn't secondhand. You seen this all take place.
Yes, I was inside the accuser's camp.
Oh.
I was an eyewitness to him being extorted because the father wanted $20 million to make a movie. And while he was saying, give me the money because you ruined my relationship with my son, and me and my son need an opportunity to bond. Mm-hmm. My attorney was querying the doctor that they later went to frame Michael Jackson with, because they needed somebody credible to make the allegation.
Oh my God! Wow.
Can I ask a question? Why did it take so long to get to today? Because this is the first time I think we've all heard about this, isn't it?
In 1993, I came forward. I went to Anthony Pellicano while I was still working with the attorney, and I reported what I had seen and what I had heard. When Michael decided to settle the case in 93, they made him drop the extortion scheme. So all the information that I personally came forward and provided, and that he had, that they were really planning to go to court and win, he had to drop they made him drop the extortion scheme. So that's why, the extortion allegation. So that's why you haven't heard the story about the extortion.
So there was a certain amount of time that you couldn't say or do anything then.
No, I didn't get the idea to write the book until 3 years later. After the 94 settlement, I came up with the idea. I thought it would be the best way to put my information without any media attention, because we went through a lot of media attention when it hit. And so I said, okay, I'll write the book, I'll put it out. They believe me if they want to believe me, they can believe it. If they don't, oh well. Mm-hmm. I never knew that when I put this book out that the first phone call I would get was Joe Jackson. And he was the biggest supporter of my book. He said, when I called, he said, hold on just a moment. I want to put you on speakerphone so my wife, Catherine, can hear you. And I knew then, only then, I knew I was in for a journey that I really wasn't ready for.
Oh my gosh.
And then Jermaine Jackson was my next call. We actually did an interview together at NBC. He wanted me to come and do an interview with him. And so I wanted Jermaine to, I gave him a copy of the book. I said, I want you to read the book so while you're out there interviewing, you'll know the facts. And Jermaine took the book and gave it back to me and said, can I have your autograph? I said, no, I'm not ready for this journey.
Hold on a second.
Something is wrong with this journey right here. So I've come forward many a times, and I've, ever since Michael passed, I realized then that this was not just a book that for people to read. This is a movie that needs to be seen, because the extortion scheme was so elaborate. I'm in the office and didn't really quite know. I knew something was wrong.
Yes.
I knew there was something wrong. And even though I was there and an eyewitness, it wasn't until they came against Michael and I'm sitting there watching the breaking news on TV, and I said, it all came together for me.
Then you realized that you could.
I realized that all these little pieces that I was with, and I wouldn't, those things that didn't make sense while you're hiding. Why are you hiding from the employee? I'm supposed to know everything that you're doing. And then when it did hit, they came unglued. They started, Chandler had no place to meet, so he came for 3 days. Him and Jordy Chandler came and stayed inside of my attorney's office. And I heard Evan blurt out, he said, it's my ass that's in danger of going to prison right here. And I said, really?
Well.
Wow.
Really?
The judge would never know.
This is ridiculous.
Really? But there's more, so I just encourage people. We're in the process of, we're venturing down the first element of making a movie is the budget. So we've got a few people at the table proposing, but Joe Jackson taught me something very interesting. He said, until the money is on the table, you don't have a deal. So if there's anybody want to rush to judgment, want to beat somebody too, I'm throwing it out there, but the movie is getting ready to get made, and the world is going to know not only that Michael Jackson was not a child molester. We need to crush the 93 allegation, because that's where it started. And that's what this story does. It tells, while they were trying to say he did it again in 2003, my book was coming out to say he didn't do it the first time. He's not a child molester at all.
Wonderful that we have somebody that can actually bring this up of the truth coming from the right place, because people are going to question that, as we all know.
Yes.
But it's coming from the right place, and it's coming from where you were actually at.
Right.
And I can understand now why it took so long. Do you have the financing on it yet?
We have a couple of investors at the table right now. The money,
everybody out there, hey, come on, jump on this. This is an incredible story.
Table, but the money is not on the table.
Well, we need the money.
Notice how I keep saying that.
It's not there yet. It's not.
Well, no, we're going to listen to Joe Jackson. What did he say? Nothing happens till the money is there.
Joe was my biggest supporter, and he said, until the money is on the table, you don't have a deal.
Yeah, a wise man.
I've heard that before.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, I have a question. At this time when this first was going on, Valentino, you were working with Michael at that time, correct?
Correct.
And how long did you work with Michael?
For about 17 years.
Wow, that must have been amazing.
I actually did. I worked in two capacities, under MJJ Productions, and then also directly for Sony. They would send me to do promotional appearances on behalf of the album releases, and then also I did stand-in and decoy work on the tours.
Wow.
So,
and can I ask, how did you get into that? How did you happen to stumble up to become Valentino? How did you stumble up to how did that happen?
well, first I was born.
Yeah, well, we got that. Explain to us, how did you and Michael end up together? How did that happen?
Well, our families actually knew each other completely outside of show business. And when I was a youngster, I was a street dancer, and Michael had a strong affinity for street dancing. So a lot of the guys that worked with him, choreography-wise, they were like kind of like big brothers in the street dance scene. Mm-hmm. And there was a photographer from Jet magazine that introduced us initially over the phone, literally over a payphone, because that's how
How
far
they
back
were
it
then
was.
in those days.
Wow, that's back
And
there.
I just kind of one introduction led to another, and it just kind of evolved. There was really no preconceived mapping or blueprint. It just evolved, and the more I did, the more I was called to do. And all of the time that, I mean, I spent a lot of time
With Michael.
and these accusers that are out now. Like, I know those guys, and I have been in the hotel room watching movies with one of the accusers. His mother was there, Michael was there, Bill Bray, rest in peace, security was there. And if what he was saying were even possible, then I must have been a part of it, and I wasn't.
Right.
And I was definitely there.
Wow.
So, and I mean, there's numerous occasions where I was around both of those guys in the presence of Michael, not in the presence of Michael, and it's just very interesting how they
Fabricated story.
have this epiphany 10 years after he's gone.
Rude
'Cause I don't-
Mike, you are getting all the honest truth.
Yes, that's
Isn't
what
this
I love.
cool? This is so
amazing.
cool.
This is
This
what we
is
wanted. This is what
really-
we needed. This is what needed to happen to clear his name.
Yes.
So this is amazing. This is a perfect step to clearing up his name, because I was a fan of him, and wow, this
I
is
think the world
amazing.
was.
I mean, he wasn't. He
It wasn't.
wasn't.
And still is, and still is, yeah.
I like the idea of them cleaning up his name, and that's wonderful.
Yes.
So
But
that's
I
what.
would have liked it and loved it even more for
If-
him to be here to see.
Oh, he's here. He's up there floating around.
I
He's
know,
there
but for him to be here to
in person.
see
Yeah.
them clear his name,
Right.
Yeah.
and
Right.
for them to have to take that jacket off of him.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because that took part of his life.
Yeah.
That's
That's-
the reason that he's not here today, because of the allegations and the things that they did to him.
Right.
So I wish he could have been here to see that.
To see
And I'm
his
sorry,
name
I'm
cleared.
in the interview. Sorry.
Oh,
But that's. I mean,
I
it's
just
all
want
good.
to
He did
interject one thing. Who was just talking? That was your mother that was
Yes,
just
that's
talking.
Ruth Ma. That's Ruth Ma. So
yeah,
she's
so
back.
that
She
was
knows
Ma.
about all of the whole situation. You know, I was a kid back in '93. I think I was like 8 years old. You know, so yeah. Put
We
that
were
out
all
there.
8 years old at one time.
Yeah, well, I'm the closest that to 8 than everyone in here. But you know, we're not gonna go there because you guys are all amazing. And I'm young. So listen, and I thank you guys all for taking the time to come out and sit down with me and help me get this story put out here. So back to Ms. Hughes. Can you run down, let us know your background outside of you writing this book? Let us know your background.
At the time, I was a legal secretary, and I was an aspiring missionary, and I'm also a gospel singer-songwriter. It's really interesting because when I wrote the book, I'm writing about a singer-songwriter, and I was able to tell people in the book, I said, if you ever want to know a person, listen to their music. And when you listen to Michael Jackson's music, he's telling you who he is. He was somebody that was trying to heal the world. He was somebody that was trying to make this place a better place. And my missionary work, I used to work with children. They're my love. I've been raising kids my whole life. I'm also able to explain his love for children. You know, kids, you just want to make them happy. You don't care what we want to come and we want to do sleepovers and we want to get in your bed and, well, can I have a corner of my own bed?
Right.
You know,
Let me
that's
get a little
just
That's
spot.
kids.
Let me
That's
get a
what
little
kids do.
That's
Kids, it's the
children.
innocence of children.
Of
and
children, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting how, you know, I really do believe that as a missionary, that this was a mission that God put me on, because, you know, a person who's trying to do good in life and then evil comes, you know, the one thing that God does is God promises that we're never going to be left alone. God gave Michael Jackson a witness. And I believe I was the witness.
You're the
that he
witness.
gave me.
Yeah.
Because of all the
There's always
good that
someone,
he was
isn't
doing,
there?
You know.
There's
glad
always
you were-
someone there that's kind of
Yes.
watching over. You're never quite alone, whatever the story may be, good, bad, right, or wrong.
Yes.
But there's always someone that sees it.
Yeah.
and was able to put it out
Fortunately,
there.
you're able to get this young lady up and tell the story. It's amazing.
I thank God. Like, she hit me when I got we linked together for this.
Yeah.
I was excited when I first heard about it. I checked with our little producer and everything. They cleared it from the beginning. They did their homework real fast.
Of course.
And it's just been a mission to get everyone lined up to get here today, and I'm glad you all were able to come in and take the time to sit down and help me get this story put out like this.
Can I ask a question with Valentino?
Yes.
Valentino, I watch you dance, and you are the spit image, the way you move, the way you do. How did you learn that? I mean, he dances just...
He shadowed him for 17 years.
You learn from
He learned from the best. 17 years.
But you picked it up. You.
I think
Did
there
you
was
practice with
there
him?
was some spiritual synergies that he and I shared that had nothing to do with entertainment. So it wasn't so much of a chore to
Learn.
because if it's part of you, if it's in you, you just perfect what's already there.
Probably
Just
came
like
very natural to you.
right, correct.
Yeah.
And because I'm being a street dancer, it was a situation where a lot of what he performed was an adaptation of street dance.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't that far of a stretch.
Because he had his own way. I mean, there's a lot of street dancers, a lot of dancers, but Michael had his own way.
Well, he mastered the masters.
That's
He took influence from the
answer.
masters,
Yeah.
and then he mastered it,
Yeah.
and then put his own signature.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I always wanted, because I've watched him dance, and it's just like the movement is amazing. So thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
I can't wait. You know, I watched Michael, and I just wanted to know, like, the very first time you met Michael. I'd like both of your experience. The first time you met Michael, or what was your experience?
I never met Michael.
Well, I'm sorry. When I say met Michael, I would say
Like
when you
encounter.
met the Joe Jackson.
Yeah. Well, my first encounter was when they came out with the second allegation. We was right at the edge of putting the book out, so my press release was already out there, and the media picked up on it right away. So they started calling my publisher, but I didn't have clearance to use the picture. This beautiful picture of Michael Jackson. I had been trying for 2 years to get the clearance, because when I went to Anthony Pellicana and gave him the information from the inside, I told him my daughter loved Michael. He had a beautiful picture of Michael hanging on his wall, autographed, and he took it off the wall and he handed it to me. This is the picture that he gave me when I came forward.
Wow.
And so when I decided to write the book, I wanted this picture. And for 2 years I was trying. One of the ladies from ABC came to interview with me, and she told me, she said, I know the family. And I said, if you know the family, will you please tell them I'm still waiting on clearance to use the picture. And that was 3 days after that Joe Jackson called and said, you tell Mrs. Hughes she's got permission. And then when I met Joe Jackson, I said, how did I get permission? He said, I just called Michael. I said, Michael, the lady is trying to put the book out. She needs clearance on the picture. And he said, Michael said, well, of course she's got my clearance. Of course. So I never got a chance to meet him. They tried to get me to meet him several times, several occasions. And but at the time when I released the book, he was under investigation the second time. So he said he couldn't really do anything.
Mix it, yeah.
Yeah, he said I need. But he gave me advice through his publicist. She told me that he told her, to go, get support from public figures and from political people to help me promote the book.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So you put a lot of work into this, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of persistence.
It was kind of easy, because as soon as the fans found out that I had this book out,
they all wanted it.
and they wanted me to go everywhere with it. And they sent me everywhere, wherever they thought of, like, we want you to go here. And then when Michael passed and Catherine did the first year that she did the memorial in Gary, I hadn't gone to Gary, Indiana, so I got a call from her camp saying she wanted me to come down there because she wanted me to bring the book so the people in Gary could know that he was innocent and how that all happened. And I wound up working with her for 7 years.
Wow.
I wound up working
Funny
with
how
her
things
for
lead
7
into everything
years.
else. Yeah, it all
down there in in Gary, Indiana, and Valentino came down.
And then Valentino got involved in it and
yes.
everything else, and that's how it all.
And that was amazing because we were literally staying inside the home where Michael Jackson lived, where the family lived, and that house was probably about the size of this room right here. And there were 10 kids, and I asked Catherine, I said, how did you guys manage in this little house like this? Catherine said the boys slept in one bedroom, the girls slept in another one, and her and Joe slept in the living room.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a story on its
Yes.
own.
Oh, they
wow.
really started.
That's amazing.
But people have to understand that he was used to being in a small quarters. He was used to family being all around him
At all
and
times.
children being all over the place, because it wasn't just Catherine's children. There was a cousin. There's Keith Jackson who lives down there in Gary, and Keith's mother told me that they were there all the time with Catherine too, and she had 5 kids.
Oh, wow. That was
So it's a lot of kids.
It was
A lot
he's
of
used
big
to being
family.
surrounded by
Yeah.
children.
And for him, it was very natural.
That's
But people,
that
but
was
people
home
didn't
for him.
understand, obviously.
Yeah,
but
that was why he loved being around kids. That's how he grew up.
wow. Okay, Valentino, can you tell me your first experience when you first met Michael?
Sure. So, when I was first introduced over the payphone, I was invited to. Well, actually, the first time was during the Triumph tour, which was with his brothers, and it was the first tour without Jermaine, because that's when they did the split, and Jermaine stayed with Motown and the brothers, and then I didn't do any work. I just had the occasion to meet him. It was backstage at the Forum, and I remember. This was actually kind of funny because I remember walking in. I went through the wrong door, and I was like, "Where is he? Like, I'm supposed to be meeting him. Where is he?" And I was in a storage closet. So the joke was, if you come out of the closet, you're
So you came out of the closet.
So you had to come out that closet.
But through the years, Geraldine has the picture that he asked to be taken of he and I together working. There was several very personal conversations that we have, and I never go to the press or any of that. Not because he was Michael Jackson, but just like because you wouldn't betray a friend,
Right.
or someone who has spoken to you in confidence. It doesn't make any sense if you're a genuine person, and I always endeavor to be a genuine person. I would say that what he inspired in me, outside of artistically, was just spiritual integrity and compassion, because I never saw anyone that humble and that serving to others. When Michael performed from like 1984, I don't have the exact date, but from around 1984 till his death, about almost 100% of the money that he made as a performer, he donated. That's why at the time of his death, it was like $350 or $500 million that he contributed to charities in his lifetime,
Wow.
making him the single greatest giver. He was more honored by that than all the accolades. When Geraldine and I connected in 2015, which was quite a year for me because I lost both my parents 8 months apart.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I connected with Geraldine in between losing him. So I lost my mother in March, my father in December, but we connected in June, well, like May. And then June 25th, which was the anniversary of Michael's passing, we spent several hours closed door with Miss Jackson. I'm never going to discuss what the conversation was out of respect, but it was a very quality situation.
Wow, that's amazing. And another question: when Michael passed away, he was preparing for the show. Were you training with him, or I don't mean training, practicing with him?
I was with him 2 days before.
Oh wow! Wow.
So I have
wow. I'm
pictures
so sorry.
of him. Skip Jordan, my godbrother here, he could tell you. He's seen the pictures of him, and I'm as close as you and I. And he told me to take the picture. I don't know why. And he said this is going to mean something someday. Just like the picture of he and I working on the set of History, where we're dressed identical. I don't know why. And when he said let's take the picture, he said it would be interesting if we turned this way. And he grabbed my face and he twisted my head because that's
how he
the way he
was.
was.
Yeah.
But it's actually a series of pictures. The first picture, which I've never really released, I'm kind of hunched over laughing because we just got out of the van and he had just tickled me in my side before we got in position. So I'm saying all this to say that the human aspect of him was greater than the superstar aspect of him.
You're telling the real
Yes,
Jackson,
the real
Michael Jackson of the things he did that you
Correct.
experienced, which probably I
Correct.
doubt if anybody else experienced that since you were that close. You know,
Amazing.
amazing.
I would say that he, like, there's so many stories, but one in particular I remember when we were in some former communist country, and he went into the hospital, the children's hospital, and the conditions were deplorable. And he told all of the parties that were involved that were going to benefit, I'm going to start by writing a check to change the conditions, and I want all of you in like kind to do the same, since you're going to benefit from my performing here, or I'm not going on stage tomorrow.
Wow.
Wow, that is amazing. That's the way to get it done. That's the way to get the job done.
It's amazing that
That's what
because these are all true stories. So it's just
authentic. This is
it's
like
authentic.
firsthand.
This is what it is.
It's not hearsay.
No,
this is
none
literally
of this is
firsthand.
hearsay.
Well, there's no, in the media, for whatever reason, they're not interested.
No, of course.
Well, we are.
We are. But they're interested
We're
in the
world
negative. We're
leaders.
interested in the positive. So
Yeah, yes.
that's what's good. So
True story
Appreciate
coming
this
out.
platform.
oh, I appreciate you actually
for-
coming and letting people in on the real Michael, not what they've read, not what they've seen on TV, the actual
Yes.
real person, day to day, not worried about camera, the real Michael. So thank you for actually coming and sharing your stories and your interaction with him. And thank you for trying to clear thank you for coming and clearing this man's name.
Yeah.
Thank you
you.
both. We appreciate it. And you guys, let everyone know, Miss Hughes, where they can get the book.
Currently, Redemption, The Truth Behind the Michael Jackson Child Molestation Allegation is available on Amazon. I'll be working simultaneously with the movie to do the second edition because I have so much more to add to it. The whole journey of the book has been amazing.
Okay, well, see, listen, hey, we're ready for it all. I'm ready to get my read on. I'm going to sit back and, I'm not going to do the Apple read where it reads to me. I want to take the chance, and read it myself.
There you go.
And I look forward to this. I look forward to the movie. I look forward to your show, seeing more of everybody, seeing both of you. Keith, I know you are getting ready to start filming for...
Yeah, for a TV series. It's called Grip. It's brand new out there. We started filming in a little over 2 weeks.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be my most challenging role. I'm playing a Texas district attorney, so I have to study the character, study the accent, the whole attitude. So.
You got that. You got it. You got that.
He looks like an attorney, doesn't he?
I was going to say, you look like an attorney. Like,
you can definitely be an attorney.
Ticked off attorney. You got that.
Yeah.
Well, Ms. Neon,
Yes.
I know what you got going. But I'm going to let you tell everybody what you have coming up on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, I have my show coming up, and actually, Valentino will be on the show as well, and also Geraldine will be on the show. So I've got that coming up. It's always a pleasure to be down here on your show, though, Mike. Rude Mike is amazing. Rude Mike actually first came on my show some time ago, Vegas Live with Ninon. So don't forget that.
Yes.
And don't forget to subscribe, because my producer says tell everybody to subscribe on YouTube. So I've done that too. Valentino has been a friend of mine for some time, and in his production company I'm kind of his voice. So when I interrupt a lot, which I do because that's my job, to interrupt and be rude. Rude Mike, rude Ninon. And so we kind of go together a little bit. We do the same sort of thing. But I'm actually his voice, and we've done many sort of voiceovers and different things, so it's in his company. And so that's why I ask certain questions, because of knowing him for so long. And Valentino is a person of his own. He's very quiet. He's very real. He loves people, and only the truth comes out. So with Geraldine and Valentino, and listening to their story of what's going on, which I'll have them both on my show, Vegas Live with Ninon, this coming Tuesday, which will be airing the end of that week, next week. And it's just all amazing to me that the truth, always comes to the top.
Yes, it does. It always comes to light.
Yes,
oil seeks its own level, and I've just heard it today, and it's just amazing. And of course, Keith is one of my directors for my show, Vegas Live with Ninon. I have, where is she? I have Lynn Hare. She's also my director for talent. And then I have Steve. Hi, Steve. And I like to bring all their names up because it is part of what we're all doing. And they should, just because they're behind the scenes, like Michael would do, bring in other people that don't get their name out there, and like you do and you do. And so we are kind of a team of bringing people together and letting the truth out there. Yes. And like you as well, Michael.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. Well, look, I don't really know what else to say other than thank you.
Can I say
thank
one
you?
more
Oh,
thing?
of course.
I definitely have to thank, because I'm so blessed to have the team that I have. Not only my manager, Jarena King, who's in the building, or actually in the room.
She's filming.
And Skip Jordan, my spiritual brother, my god brother, who covers me and keeps me in line when needed and lifts me up when needed. My beloved, she's out. We don't have a
Victoria.
lot of Victoria. And Costume Mama, Roberta Dumont, who takes care of all of what I'm wearing. And I'm just really, really thankful for that team.
Oh my gosh.
We've got such a great team going, haven't we?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork, yeah.
Yes.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I like that.
I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to the Redemption Power team. I have a team. It was the team member that connected me with Mike. Yeah. I want to give a shout out to James Ewell and Renee. She's here in town, but Renee Owens. And let's see, there's one more. I cannot forget Carlos and his wife Inez. And they're always knocking on doors. We're trying to get the truth out in many places as we can, and that's the team that makes it happen for me.
Okay. Well, since we are shouting out teams, I have to shout out my team.
Yeah, there you go.
We're shouting out teams. I have to shout it out. Rude Mom for always holding Reckless down no matter what. If I can't make it, she makes it. She always makes sure that everything behind the scenes is taken care of.
That's what a mother is.
Yes. If you guys only knew, she takes care of a lot. So she deals with a lot. She deals with me going crazy all week. So this is the one that keeps me sane enough to get here. So I have to definitely shout her out. I have to shout out to all our interns and the whole Hot 702 team, and thank everybody. You know what I mean? This was an amazing interview, and it still is, because we're not done. I have a couple more questions that I need to ask, So I need to know, what was your, it's hard to say because, he has so many songs, but can you tell me one of your most favorite songs with Michael?
I like Man in the Mirror. That one was so meaningful to me. Because that's a song that everybody can embrace. Embrace. We need to all embrace. And then the fans, when I started traveling around and meeting his fans, they had a song, the Earth song. And I hadn't heard it. When they said, "Oh, the Earth song," everybody was saying. And when I listened to that song, the Earth song, that became my favorite song, where he was even caring about the universe. It was caring about the universe.
He was open to it all. Valentino, can you tell me? I know it's hard, but one of your favorite songs.
Definitely Earth Song, because of the message and he was speaking to the consequence of ignoring the science of our demise due to conspicuous consumption and just ignoring nature or taking nature for granted.
Okay, see? Hey, Look, I'm sorry. I'm back to I'm young, but Man in the Mirror was my thing. You know, that's like I can remember the video. You know, like I can't do the dances. I'm too fat, but I tried. I mean, I used to try. I used to be a little fat Michael Jackson. You know, I'm gonna put that out there. So you know, whenever Valentino, you need a break. You know, just call me up. I can come in. You know, do a show a couple of days. You know, let you take a break. You know, I can't moonwalk, but I'll get on the escalator and go back.
You gotta do the moonwalk.
But see, the moonwalk, I'll do a little. I'll mix it up. So what I'll do is I have some socks on and I'll run and like slide and go backwards with it. You know what I mean? Like to get the moonwalk.
So you got your own interpretation of it.
Yeah, so
your own thing.
I'll come out. It won't be the.
It's probably the earth walk. Yours is probably.
Yeah, it'll be more of an earth walk. Yeah, because I'm gonna be all over the earth. I'm gonna fall all on the earth. You know, doing it. But yes,
anytime that you're ready to retire, then you would let Mike come up. And
Absolutely.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, well, you probably wouldn't get the show back. They probably would tell you to run with you.
It'll go from Valentino, the Man in the Mirror, to Mike.
Yeah, Mike. He broke that mirror. That's what it would be. Valentino, the Man in the Mirror, to Mike. He broke that mirror. That's where it would go.
We'll call that. You did that.
That's exactly. You know what? That's what would be at the bottom of it. It would be Mike broke that mirror. He did that.
I want to elaborate on that. You know, Rude Mike, I've known for some time, as I said before, and I think it was you were in a hospital bed when you were watching my show, and you had said to me that you said, I want to be like that woman.
Yes, and
do the show. Am I quoting you correctly?
Yes.
Oh, that's
And so when he started that, and I'm looking at you now, you've come such a long way, and you've done so well, and it's very, very hard in this town. I know how hard it is in this town to actually make it and do it and have everybody kind of. So what you have achieved today, absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of you, Mike. I'm so proud. Really, you're just. And you're just going up and up and up and up the ladder. You're going to be a number one.
I'm trying.
Well, keep trying.
Well, listen, all I have to say is, all I have to do is keep watching my mentor. You know, Las Vegas Live with Neon at the Pepper Mill every Tuesday. You know, as long as I keep watching that show, I got it. Like,
yeah, because I keep changing a little bit. You know, I get a little better each time. Practice makes perfect. I'm still practicing at my age.
See, and it works out. That's working. It's working. Just keep it going. And every show you practice, you step up a little bit. So I watch it, so I'm like, okay, step up a little bit more. Do the exact same.
There's room for everybody in this world.
Yes, it is. And there's enough room for everybody to grow and for everybody to be in business without all the bickering. We're not in high school, people. We're grown. So
we have room for everybody, and of course with your show too. You've got your show coming out.
Amazing. When is the next?
Valentino.
I'm running it down. I'm still coming. I gotta get this show out. I'm trying to be sure we hold our whole time out. So I was trying to hold it out. So Valentino, can you let everyone know when is the next running of your show? When is it running again?
We are currently in production now, because what we're bringing forward, and we're actually collaborating with Geraldine to bring something that hasn't been seen before. We want to pay tribute to him in a way that doesn't mimic, but it highlights and enlightens the principles upon which he lived.
Oh wow! I cannot wait. That's going to be amazing. That sounds amazing.
That's why the title of the show is Valentino, the Man in the Mirror, because
it's you. It's not him.
Yeah.
I'm saying what I'm conveying is just like the song starting with the Man in the Mirror. So in my endeavor to convey a tribute to him, I'm starting with the Man in the Mirror.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Well, just remember when that happens, I plan on being there. You know, I'm there. Like I'm there to see it all. Like I cannot wait.
Well, we're going to incorporate you. Remember?
Oh well.
Okay. Sounds cool.
Excuse me. I'm not in the interview, and I'm so sorry, but this is Rude Mom. So I need to.
Nothing's better than mothers.
I need to understand, and I need you to understand that I am sitting in the room with a Michael Jackson right now, right? And I completely grew up on Michael Jackson, right? So I made the lady over there lock the door. I have to have a picture with you because I have Michael Jackson in a room at 51 years old.
She still has a Michael Jackson picture.
I've never met him. And it is an honor. I would love to take a picture with you.
Absolutely.
And it's an honor
My
for
honor.
you to be
I think
here.
that can be
Thank you.
arranged,
It's
don't
my honor.
you? I think we could.
My
That
mother
could
still
happen.
to this day,
Absolutely.
Literally,
Yes.
her grandkids are not allowed to touch the picture. Like that is
No.
one thing
Yes.
in the house that kids can play with everything in the house,
But not the
that-
picture.
But no,
Not that
leave that
picture.
alone. That is, that's just like the picture of Jesus. Leave that up there. Do not touch that.
Absolutely.
Just have it up there, like and that's on the wall. Like literally, like she guards that. They're not allowed to touch that picture at all.
I swear to God.
And this is amazing. Like I enjoy this. This is what I have set up and dreamt of for so long, to be able to get a cast like this
Well,
together.
if you keep pushing the way you're pushing, it's going to all happen for you. I believe me, it will.
I'm
But you
not
have to
gonna
keep.
stop.
you
I'm
have
not
to
gonna
keep,
stop.
That's just like Valentino. He does the same thing. He keeps pushing, and he's
And
got his show
he
coming
is-
together and everything coming together of what he wants, and that's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I
Yes.
can't wait for it. So,
So-
Ms. Hughes, can you let everyone else know what's coming next with you in the book?
I'm mainly, it's the movie.
Mm-hmm.
My focus and my concentration is making sure that the movie gets made. We're trying to, ever since they released the Leaving Neverland documentary, we don't call it a documentary, we call it a movie, because the two gentlemen that were in it, they were obviously acting. and once you put it out there, and it's out there, and they have proven so many lies in that documentary, and they actually tried to destroy his legacy. But I'm telling people, you can't destroy Michael Jackson's legacy, because Michael Jackson's legacy was built on love.
Yes.
And in order to destroy his legacy, you have to be trying to destroy love. And we all already know who's responsible for love in this universe. So we want to make sure that his name is clear, to protect his legacy, not only for his family, fans all over the world, and that documentary actually brought Michael Jackson back alive again.
Yes, it did. Hold on, how do I say it? It made him relevant again.
Yes.
It made him highly relevant, and you guys thought you were tearing him down, but thank you for making it to where we can get out with this story and get this put out there. So thank you for opening the door for us to come and clean up your lies,
That's right,
clean up
that's
your mess
right.
that you guys made. So thank you. And
right.
now I have another question for Valentino. How much time did you spend with the kid? Did you spend time with the kids? With Michael's kids?
I was around them, but Michael kept his children very sheltered
Away from
from what he called the circus.
truly
That's why-
understandable.
Yeah.
That's why
Truly
when they
understandable.
That's why when they were younger, he had them in masks and disguises, because he didn't want them to have the immediate pressure of as small children that he endured.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, then, see, I wish we all were like that, because my kids, we walk out in the store and people walk up to me and I'm looking at them. I just watched you on. Oh, you did? And my son's like, well, why are you talking to my dad? Walk away. So my kids are actually my security guards, so I mean, I don't want to keep them out of it. I'll put them in there so they know. They're like, as you're walking, hey,
You gotta come
what do you
to the
want?
kids.
What do you want? Like, are you asking for money? He's not today. Come back tomorrow. Like, yeah. So I understand it. So.
Talking about kids and everything, I was actually at Neverland. I went to Neverland, and I actually met Michael's brothers, and I met a lot of them because of the business I'm in. But it's for real. Neverland is absolutely for real. Absolutely.
I never even got the chance to
You
see
walk
it.
into these big, you drive into the big gates, and it is for real with all these animals and all these things. It was the most incredible thing that a private person owned,
Oh my God.
because it really was for real. And it was all based around children. The whole thing was totally for children, and he was one of the kids.
He was the
He was the kid.
Yes.
He was the kid that put this together, and he just gave, as you say, from his heart all the time, and that's what he gave, and it was just, but it was beautiful, and he has some really incredible animals and things. Absolutely, it was a lot of money went into that, and it was for real.
A lot of time.
Incredible.
A lot of time.
Yes, a lot of time, and of course my favorite was the carousel. He had the carousel. Jump, and I got on it and became a kid again.
Yeah, that's what he
That was the
did.
idea. It was beautiful. But I just wanted to mention that because it was for real. And it was
Oh,
beautiful.
I
Absolutely
wish I could have
incredible.
made it. I wish I could have seen it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know it's about time for us to wrap this up. But I just have to ask, is there anything else? While we have the platform open, is there anything else you guys would like to put out there, say?
I would
Other than we all know he didn't do it. But
I'd just like to thank you, Mike, and also
you.
Valentino and Geraldine and also Keith for bringing all this together. and putting it
Thank
out
you.
there. And I think that's probably one of the greatest things that could possibly happen, especially with your experience, which you've just heard, which you probably haven't heard before. And it just gives this the ground, like, hey, hang in a second, let's just think this over again, and let's see what's going on, and let's see what's. I can't wait for the movie to come out.
Oh, me too.
I'm just trying to figure out what part I'm going to play in the movie, but
We are.
A good maid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A good maid.
One of the
well, I could be your assistant. There you go.
one
Do
of
they have
the points
assistants?
that I wanted to mention is my journey with putting this book out, and I tell people this all the time. It's been a spiritual journey, and everything concerning Michael Jackson turns out to be a spiritual journey.
Yeah.
This was.
Yeah.
I don't think this is beautiful. I just, I was talking to Mike, and Mike said, he just said while we were talking, he said, I've been trying to get in touch with Valentino, and I've been reaching out. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, I got his phone number, and then I called, and then you.
Yeah, and I didn't know because I've known him for years. I mean, we talk all the time.
It is
but
so beautiful. Everything concerning Michael Jackson turns out to be a spiritual journey. So you cannot tell me in a million years that he would ever hurt a child, because God does not support a person who does that.
Yes.
And,
Yes. And he would
and
not
so
have been who he
I
was.
always like to tell people, I said, when he was going through the trial and the fans were so concerned, I said, you got to remember God is on Michael's side. I said, I don't know how God is going to do this, but Michael's walking out of that courthouse. And that's what kept him. And did Michael walk out of that
Yes, he
courthouse?
did.
With that angel behind him, Mesero, with that white hair looking just like an angel.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Valentino, you were about to say something?
I really appreciate this opportunity and this platform because there's been so much just ridiculous allegations that have been against him. And, as this unfolds, there'll be more and more information that will support and promote the truth as it should be promoted, just like the other side
Promoted
was
the
not
lies.
truthful,
Yes.
was promoted. Really, really thank you for being courageous and taking this position because it's not a popular position at the moment, but I think the paradigm is shifting and people are, at minimum, they're questioning the content
Of that
now.
movie.
They're starting to question the character of the actors.
We'll see.
Questioning everybody, Oprah included.
No comment.
Look, we are going to, on that note, you guys, we are going to, Reckless is going to thank every one of you. Thank you guys so much for taking time and coming and sit down with us and help us get this story out. And again, we have an open door. Whenever you guys feel you want to come back, please do. With that being said, you guys, thank you so much. And we are going to close out the show tonight. And thank you guys again.
Thank you.
Amazing,
Thank you,
amazing
Mike.
interviews. Thank you guys very much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. With that being said, you guys, you know what it is. It's Reckless. It's Rude Mike. If it ain't reckless, don't respect it. We're out.